my constituents. I'm here because my constituents have contacted my office enough for me to understand that they are experiencing some serious concerns around our democratic institutions, and we need to take that seriously. That, to me, is the very point of this. This is why we've been calling for a public inquiry. This is why we've been saying repeatedly it must be a process that is transparent, that it's public, and that it's independent. Because we've now gotten to a point where all people hear is the Liberals justifying, instead of us just saying, okay, we're now at a point where we have to have a public process because Canadians are getting concerned. And those institutions fundamentally matter. I too trust our institutions. I agree that they could be stronger and better. This is why a public inquiry is so important to the NDP. And I think it's very concerning that the Liberals have been pushing back against a public inquiry, suggesting that it's unable to deal with secret information. We know that's not the case. We've seen that happen before. It can happen again. And I'm also very concerned. I heard MP Sahota, when she was here the other day, dismissing them because they cost a lot of money. Again, that's really concerning to me. It isn't about us as politicians. It's about Canadians in this country having faith in our systems. So when she compared it to the LRT inquiry, suggesting that it wasn't worth the cost, I'm not sure that people from Ottawa would share that opinion. So I just, I want to bring these forward. This is concerning to me. This is a position right here in this committee where we are very partisan. That's the truth of politics. That's why we're asking for it to be in a venue that isn't partisan, that really takes Canadians' concerns seriously and lets us know what's happening. That's it. It's a transparent process. And I just want to point out that I've been listening to Mr. Fergus, my friend Mr. Fergus, speak for over an hour and a half, I believe, about the Arar Commission and how that investigated intelligence leaks and misleading leaks from government sources, who I just think is important to note, and I think he noted it as well, was a Liberal government at the time. I agreed that we got a lot out of that report. And I think this is the part that I find most perplexing, is that this is an excellent example of how relying on a public inquiry to get to the bottom of things, to get information out, for the public to have faith in that. It's like watching the member argue for what we're asking for. So I'm not sure why that is not happening. There's a really great opportunity. It sounds like he's calling for a public inquiry. I support that. So hopefully we can get some actions done. But I also just want to come back for a moment, just on a personal note. We saw something happen today where we had a member raising their voice. And I just want to recognize that it was dealt with. And I appreciate the apology that was made. But one of the things that is sticking with me is the difference between intention and impact. And that when we're talking about these decisions that we make, we must be always focusing not on our intention, but on the impact. So when I talk about a public inquiry, to me, that's about what will be the good impact. I hear from the Liberals that they have great intentions. They feel that they've done a great job to deal with these issues. And I respect fulsomely all of the members on NSICOP. But the impact of what's happened in this country is that more Canadians are not trusting their public institutions. So I just want to remind everyone that we need to focus not on our intentions, but on the impacts of the things that we do and the actions that we take. And I also heard, I was referenced about the importance of spending time in a constituency week with our constituents, and I couldn't agree more. I've had to move a lot of things to accommodate this day. And I do it because I take my job very seriously, as I know everyone around this table takes their job very seriously. And, I don't want to miss time with my constituents. In fact, I was thinking of Miss Ramanado yesterday when I was in Gold River, where I was talking to the fire chief of Gold River and of Tassis, and was very disheartened to hear from the fire chief from Tassis that they have no space to deal with their contaminated suits, that their building was condemned and now everything is in a CCAN. So when they do anything, they have to think about it very carefully, because if they get any kind of moisture on their suits, how they're going to dry those are particularly hard because they don't have the proper infrastructure. So when I think of the work that we're doing today and the fact that we are sacrificing precious time with our constituents, I think everybody in this room needs to honor it. And I honor it especially because there are volunteers in my riding who will run to the fire and save people's lives and save people's houses the best that they can. And they don't even have a right place to decontaminate their suits. That is wrong in this country. It's shameful in this country. And there's a lot of work to be done here. I also just want to say that when we see something come forward that is public, independent, and transparent, I will be very happy to move quickly. I appreciate that a special rapporteur, and I agree that is something that's used all over the planet. It's a role that's very specific. I think most Canadians know what that is because Canadians are intelligent. I appreciate that, but it is a baby step. It is a baby step on an issue that is front of mind to far too many Canadians. And I want to see this taken out of this partisan place. I don't want to see this issue used to make political wins. And I am seeing the parties that are using it to make political wins. And I worry about that. I worry about how it's being used to create more fear. I don't like that. I don't do that easily. I never do that personally. So I want us to get to a place where we can vote on this and move forward, because I just, I really listen to what Canadians are saying. I see what's in the media, and we need to remember, if we do not have these issues dealt with in a way that Canadians have faith in the process, it just will become increasingly partisan. So I'm asking everyone, please, to work together to try to get to some sort of solution. Let's go to the vote. Let's get to work for Canadians, and hopefully we'll see something happen quickly around a public inquiry. I think we can all agree that Canadians deserve answers. This is the clearest way forward, in my opinion, and I think numerous opinions have come out supporting that. And of course, our leader, Jagmeet Singh, has been very clear